Explaining all the Porsche models in simpler terms. Starting off with Porsche's flagship sports car, the 911. This car came in a ton of chassis codes starting from the 901 to the 992. And they also came in a ton of variants. So you could get models like the 911 Carrera or like the 911 Turbo. Starting with the base models of the 911, the 911 Carrera. If you see the number 4, this means it's an all-wheel drive, and if you see S, this means it's the more sportier version of that car. Then you have the 911 Targa, which is a semi-convertible. And then you have the 911 GTS, which is sportier than the Carrera, but less than the 911 Turbo S. And then you have Porsche's 911 track focus models like the 911 GT3, or everybody's favorite, the GT3 RS, and then the GT2 RS. This one's a more extreme version of the GT3, and this is a turbocharged version of that car. Up next is Porsche's coupes and roadster models called the 718 series. You could get a 718 Cayman, which is Porsche's coupe, although it's kind of weird they call this a coupe because all their cars are basically coupes. Or you could get the 718 Boxster, which is just a roadster. And they also have something called the 718 Spider. Moving on to Porsche's luxury sedans called the Porsche Panamera. I messed it up again. Panamera. You can get this as a base model or work your way up to the top of the model called the Turbo E Hybrid. And then you have Porsche's SUV model called the Cayenne. Just like the other Porsche models, these have different variants, like the Cayenne S, which is a sportier version of the regular Cayenne, all the way up to the Cayenne Turbo GT, which holds the fastest SUV lap on the Nürburgring. And then you have Porsche's compact SUV called the Macan. And just like all the other Porsche models, they have all different variants, so this one has the Macan Turbo. And finally, you have Porsche's electric sedans called the Porsche Taycan, or Taycan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Like the other models, this one has a base model and the highest sportier version called the Turbo S. Now, I feel like I butchered a bunch of names or maybe forgot something, but you guys have been loving this series and asked me to explain every other car brand, so I'm kind of learning myself and explaining it to you guys. Let me know what other brands you guys want me to explain.